I'm live. I'm there. I'm here. I'm there. Y'all are out there. Y'all are either watching me live or you're watching me on the one of the recorded ones in the future. Send me some lottery numbers. I need some more shoes. Hey, I got to go to New Orleans Paracon. That's going to cost me some money with the gas prices like they are. We have to rent a car. Ugh. Anyway, welcome to the show. We got a special guest, Christie Ayers, coming up here a little bit later. We're talking about her Stephenson Building. So we got a haunted location. I'm not sure how I'm going to interview a building, but we're going to try. Anyway, we're going to go right on into the show. But first, we're going to do our commercials. We have been talking quite a bit, obviously, with upcoming Paracon and the people running it. The people that run it are, see if we can throw up that first picture. There it is, the New Orleans Paranormal Society. I'll tell you what they don't do. They don't show you a haunted building and move on when they give you a tour in New Orleans. They do not take you into the building and say, this is a haunted building, such and so happened here, and you move on. No. They take you into the building, they sit you down, and hand you a piece of paranormal equipment, and you meet a ghost. Places include behind a voodoo shop and the Andrew Jackson Hotel. And let me tell you, I've investigated both of them multiple times. They are both extremely haunted, and that's just a couple of their locations in New Orleans. The French Quarter is quite haunted. Throw up the other picture. Here is their address and phone number. If you are down there in New Orleans and would like a for real paranormal experience put on by people who have had about 700 investigations under their belt, very experienced paranormal investigators, and you want a paranormal experience, go down there, get you a tour, and this is a true ghost tour. They don't talk about the ghost. They take you to them. So give them a contact if you're going down to New Orleans and get you a real ghost tour. They've also got a little bitty thing going on called the New Orleans Paracon, July 31st, August 1st and 2nd. Roll that Paracon footage, please. Nice, easy listing, Jazz. Start with for the guests and the packages. Most ghost paranormal investigations are still open. Some of the packages, Platinum's open. Some of the packages have been sold out. Most of the actual ghost hunts are still available. Contact them from their website, NewOrleansParacon.com, and go ahead and sign up for a ghost hunt today, because you don't know how long those are going to be available. Also, go ahead and set your night stuff. You need to contact them through the website and get a special deal on hotel reservations at a special price. We need to go ahead and get people in the hotel at the Paracon price. Not contact the hotel, contact them at the website. We can get 20 people to stay up for 2 nights. He's going to have a band. The hotel jazz band. Brother Sebastian! Yeah! John Zappas needs no introduction. Lonnie and Lord will be behind the voodoo shop with their own liquor and Terry Brown. Ron Zappas and Patty Negre will be at the end of the day, among other places. Anyway, is Christopher and Jennifer. All right, Gwen, let's go ahead and throw up Father Sebastian's video with the Batman. Feedback if you sold out.
夜明けが迫り来る招かさる感情は真空の逆流に私は酔いしれた心臓から
And there we have it. Yes, Father Sebastian will be in New Orleans. He is a man full of stories, experiences, and he will be there. There is a package you can still get where it's Weekend with Patty Negre. You saw that advertised in the video. That is still available. There are a few seats left. If you want to spend $500 per person and split it with and see Patty Negre, San Bertusas, and Father Sebastian together. That's what it cost you, and that's still available. There's 2 or 3 left, I heard. So if you want that package, better hit the website tonight, because that is no guarantee that it will last very long. The RIP with Father Sebastian sold out within a week. And be sure and get your rooms there so we can get ourselves a jazz band in the hotel. So we're sitting there jazzing away. Oh, by the way, Voodoo Authentica will be opening the Paracon Saturday morning. So go down there, be early, be in line, because you will want to see Voodoo Authentica as they start the Paracon at the opening when the doors open, actually before the doors open, 9 a.m. Saturday morning. All right, let's go ahead. I don't have anything to say tonight except I'm busy. I actually just got out of bed. That's why my hair's wet. Just got out of the shower. Anyway, let's go ahead and open the door on this show and get it done. Hello? You forgot to play the intro. Gwen? Hello? There we go. right. Now we're in the show. Let's go ahead and first, I want to talk about our guest a little bit. Christie Ayers has been involved with the paranormal field for about 9 years. She's had guest spots on Travel Channel's Destination Fear and Most Terrifying Places in America. She was also on set with Ghost Adventures for one episode. Christie created her own series called Buried Alive Paranormal that was picked up by Nick Croft for his streaming services, as well as being available on Amazon Prime. It's no longer available on Prime, sorry to say. Christie spent about 4 years, 2020 to 2024, living van life, traveling the U.S., holding paranormal events, and many known haunted locations. She also spent those years exploring the country and making friends. It's how she earned the name Para-Gypsy. In October 2025, she was able to regain access back to the Stephenson Building and finally became the sole owner. Congratulations. Christie made a decision to stop traveling and refocus herself back on her original project. Christie purchased Stephenson Building in 2018 and in 2020 was featured on Travel Channel's Portals to Hell. After the filming of Portals to Hell, Christie was forced out of her building for 3.5 years. Oh, that sucks. Stephenson Building is closed to the public for those years. Lost my place. She has reopened to the public for its originally intended purposes. Anyone can rent the building out for private overnights, and Christie holds public events as well as candlelight and day tours. Christie's goal is to renovate Stephenson Building and attempt to preserve its history. The Stephenson Building is known for its paranormal activity. People have experienced doors opening and closing. Ooh. Objects moving on their own, footsteps, and EVPs. Occasional people have reported seeing shadow figures throughout the location, an apparition of a female lingering in the upstairs halls. Guests also claim to have heard children running and laughing in the same hall. You can book the Stephenson Building by reaching out to Christie on any of her social media platforms, her emails, or by calling the number listed on the building's Google business page. And she has the links. There's not much I can do with them. The links here, but there's a Google link and personal Facebook. Once somebody wants to copy the links into the room, be glad to do that for you. But without further ado, let's bring our guest up, Christie Ayers. Hello.
I have absolutely no sound. I can't hear at all.
You can't hear at all.
I'm going to sign out and sign back in and see if my sound comes back on because I can't hear anything. So hang on.
Okay, Gwen, you want to sit there and do some charades?
Yeah, it happens sometimes, especially on iPhones.
A phone. Yes.
Yeah, for some reason. So let's see if she can pop back in and get that going. But all right, let's see. Here she comes.
There it is.
You got it? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was just some technical issue because I couldn't hear any of the stuff before that either. And I was like, I'm going to wait and see. Maybe it would come on, but it didn't. So
right. It happens. If it happens again, just pop out and come back in. It does happen on our cell phones. But I'm going to get off here and on with the show, guys. You're good.
Thank you.
All right, Christie.
Hi.
To start with, we are talking about your Stephenson Building and what all you're doing.
Yes. So
first, let's say where people can see what's going on. Your website.
Yeah. So my son is building me a website, and we were like waiting. I just got Wi-Fi in here, so it'll be a little bit before I have an actual website. So for now, everything's on. We have YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. I think are the two main, and it's all under the Haunted Stephenson Building. There is another page that says Stephenson Building LLC, and that is not the one. So if you see that one, it has no profile picture or anything. It has to be the Haunted Stephenson Building. But that's where pretty much you can see everything. Eventually we'll have a website, but I needed internet because my son is my son and he's building me my own server. So Yeah, so that's why we were waiting for Wi-Fi, because he's been building the site and the server. And so eventually it'll just, we'll be running on our own server, which is awesome. I'll take it because he could do whatever he wants with it that way, which is cool. So eventually it'll be
So
on there, but yeah.
internet's available in the building.
Yeah, it is now. I just got it installed on Thursday, I believe. So yes, it's
I
been
mean, you
great.
only had internet there for a week now.
Yeah. It's been kind of a long road. For people who have been watching, if you haven't been watching, I moved into the building at the end of February, and I had no electricity, no water, nothing. So it's been quite the journey. But I did it so that I could fix it up and be here more often, because I was living 2 hours away. And with gas prices and everything else, it's a monstrosity. And so I was like, you know what, I'll just go move in there, and then I can focus on it. I can still, I found another job and all that stuff. So um it's been quite the adventure. It was like camping in below zero weather. But we're good now.
Cool. So you
Yeah.
actually live in the building.
I do. Yes, I do. I have my own one little room, and then the whole rest of the building is just open for the public and for whoever wants to come in and who wants to do overnights and things like that. So it's funny because I'm like, I'll just go in my room and stay out of the way. But so far, everybody just wants me to hang out with them,
Cool.
which I appreciate. I'm like, that's so sweet. However, it is not mandatory at all whatsoever. If you want to be left alone, you're more than welcome to investigate without me around. It's no
Well,
offense
okay.
taken. Yeah.
First, let's talk about your address. Where are you?
We are in Wymore, Nebraska, and it is 217 South 7th Street in Wymore, Nebraska. So you can't miss the building. Such a little old town. I'm actually on the main street, which consists of me and the grocery store across the street, basically, and the
So
bar on the corner down the
parking's
street.
no
So
problem.
no, not even remotely. The furthest you may have to park away from the building is probably like 3 spots.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. If the grocery
Now,
store open, it may have to be 4, but that's about it.
what's available around there? You got a hotel people can want to stay at? Because a lot of people stay up all day driving to you. They
Yeah,
may not
so
feel like driving all the way home.
there is the Heritage Inn, which is just down the street. It's brand new. And when they put that in, they took very much care to put a lot of the history in there. So they did turn it into a nice little historical type thing, which is amazing. They did a great job. So they're there. I'm also about, I'd say 15 minutes, no more, from Beatrice, and they have plenty of hotels, restaurants. Beatrice is a bit bigger of a town, and it's growing. They now have a hospital there, so it's definitely growing. It's probably the smallest town I've ever seen with a hospital, but yeah, they're anticipating the growth. So
Okay.
yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff. Like we're isolated a bit, but only by about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So, and
How many
Kansas,
square feet you got?
what's that? I think it is close to 10,000 square feet.
That's pretty nice.
It's not too bad.
How many
So,
floors?
we have a basement, the main floor, and then the upstairs. So,
So you can split your team up and put one in the basement, one on the top floor, and they got a floor between them empty, so they're not
yes.
interfering with each other.
Yep,
That's cool.
absolutely. Yep.
That's cool.
Hmm.
Now let's talk about cost.
So Fridays and Saturday nights, it's $375 a night. During the weekdays, it's $275 a night, and that's for up to 6 people. And then it's like $40 per person after the 6. And I feel like that is, I'm trying to keep the cost pretty much low as I can, because all the money goes back into repairs. That's what it's for. It's for restoration of the building and to keep it running, to pay the bills and all that stuff. So the cost is based off of simply bare minimal, to keep the place up and running and keep repairs going. This was never something I wanted to do to just make a quick buck, I guess. Because if it was, this would be the wrong building to choose. It's, if you've ever seen the movie Money Pit, you know where I'm at.
With Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I believe it was Tom Hanks. Yep, in the house. Yeah, it's that's my life story right there. So,
Well, a question.
mhm,
You've got internet in the building.
yes.
Could we walk around a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I will take you here, and then if we want to go upstairs, I actually don't know if the internet will work in the basement, and I've never tried it. So maybe we
Yeah.
can try it with you guys.
Well, maybe
So
maybe
hold
we can
on.
try it.
Let me switch this around, and I have to put shoes on because to go upstairs.
Whoops. She'll get it figured out in a second. She'll be right back, everybody. We're trying some new stuff here. We'll see if she just got her internet. So we'll see where it works and how it works. And working with an iPhone, let's get it back. Let her get her shoes on. Of course, I'm not wearing shoes, but I'm on carpeted floor. And here we are back.
There we go. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if it'll let me switch. I hit the flip button and it kicked me out. So I'm not sure. If I have to, I'll just hold the camera the other way.
Okay.
I won't be able to see what I'm doing very well. I might try it one more time. Here, let's see if it'll. There we go.
It's
that's-
flipped now.
Yep, my son gave me that. So, okay.
I was going to say, I see a stuff lying and
Yeah, my son gave me that. So that's kind of where I stay at the bathroom. This is the main floor. It's the back of the main floor. And since we're down here already, I'll just take it in here. It's kind of dark. I will grab a flashlight too before we go upstairs. So you probably won't be able to see much down here, but we'll get a flashlight before we go upstairs.
okay.
But I wanted to show you all the Gansfeld room. So once I plug it in, you'll be able to see it. Maybe. There we go. So that's the Gansfeld room. And
Red lighting.
basically, yep. And so you put your person in there and you shut them in. And then it's basically sensory deprivation and Estes mixed together is basically how that works.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. A lot of people like doing it and we get some pretty good results out of it. So we're going to sneak out here. So this is where I was sitting. It's the little, I guess if every building has a safe room, this would kind of be the safe room. And as you can see, there are still a lot of oddities in here. So this is one of them, one of the cases. And you may recognize Charlie from the Portals to Hell episode. So there he is. And then the front room has some more cases with oddities in it and a lot of seating for whatever we do in here. This particular case here is stuff from haunted locations all over the country, including stuff that I found in the building. So that's, this is one of my favorite collections that I own because a lot of this was gifts from people. And so I just absolutely, it's just a reminder to me of how much people want to contribute and be a part of this and everything. Because the Stephenson Building originally, when I owned it originally, the idea was to make it a place for investigators and friends. And like, I wanted it to be that kind of a place. And so that's kind of what that reminds me of. So, but those are always out on display. So we're going to get the keys for the upstairs. If I would have known you all wanted to do this, I definitely would have had this all opened up for you already. So I apologize for the terrible camera filming and all that, but I'm going to grab a light and we'll go on up. You know you're a ghost hunter when you have a drawer full of flashlights.
Yes. For anybody starting ghost hunting 101 tells you have multiple flashlights.
I have an entire drawer full. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Oh, it was raining. Had no idea. Here we go. And here's the creepy staircase,
Ooh,
because who doesn't have one of those, right?
creepy staircases are fun.
All right. So we can go left or right first. Which way do you want to go?
I don't know. Well, the producer tonight is left-handed because she's had surgery on her right shoulder. So why don't we go left?
That sounds like a plan. Give me a second here. Sorry for the bad camera work, but I got to unlock the door. For safekeeping. All right. So you've been watching. This is the hallway.
Oh goodness.
Probably my favorite place in the entire building. I think it has the most activity here. You'll hear people running up and down. You'll hear kids playing. This is also, and I swear I just heard a REM pod, and I don't think there's a REM pod up here. This is also where we play the game, where we put a REM pod on this end and then one on the other end in a Faraday cage. And I'll play with the REM pod on this side and ask them to repeat it, and they do quite frequently. So it's pretty amazing when that happens.
What was this building before? Originally?
I'm not really sure what it was originally, but I know that in 1901, when it was handed over to George Stephenson, it became the financial building for Wymore. So it was a financial building. It was a brothel. It was a tobacco shop. It was a dance hall. It was apartments. So I'm actually standing in one of the apartments right now. There were originally 4 apartments up here. So I was a lot of different things.
Zach Bagans
So-
would have a hard time walking into that room.
Yeah, this is my Zach Beggins repellent room. Well, this one, you probably recognize him. He was on Portals to Hell. If you look it up, you're going to see the picture of Jack and Heather pretty much with him. And a lot of people get creeped out by that one, but I can tell you that I bought a crash test dummy from the Halloween store, and I painted it and I put the clothes on it. So I just wanted a life-size clown. And then oddly enough, when I got it back, these 3 were in here. Don't know where they came from. So I was like, whatever, I'll just put them in here. And then these are actual banners from the freak show from the circus that I bought from like an antique store in Florida. So
Okay, Gwen had a question. Would you like to use a piece of equipment? See if you can get anything.
if I have anything up here, otherwise everything is scattered downstairs. But I'll take you guys on a walk, and then if you want, I can run down there. We'll get something and bring it back up. So that's the this is part of that apartment, and my cat's up here.
Are people allowed to investigate this area?
Yes, they are. They absolutely are. And I think this is the area that people mostly want to investigate up here. And I encourage it more than anything because I think most of the activity is up here. So this was the kitchen for this apartment, the kitchen, the living area, the bedroom, the bathroom. And then this would have been, so that would actually be apartment 3. This was apartment 2. And this we turned into a scrying room. So it has mirrors, candles. When the candles are on, you can hear like a ticking, and it becomes very methodic, and like people will sit and just stare into the mirrors for hours. I'm not really sure. No one ever really talks much about what they see or what happens in here. So I don't really know.
Wait a
I don't
minute,
know if
you've
people
got
just
mirrors
don't.
across from each other?
Yeah. There's one
You
there.
know, a lot of people think that creates a portal.
Yeah, I think people do think that, but I'm not really sure. To be honest, I'm not really sure if it does. So I guess it's an experiment. And then our back room here, we set up like a brothel where you can play cards if you play poker. A lot of times you'll get some responses and things like that from whoever. From what we've kind of realized is that whoever will come and sit and play poker is not a gambler. They don't drink. However, they just think it's fun. So that's something that we've managed to get from there. Another bathroom, there's a bathroom here, and none of the bathrooms upstairs work. So this would have been another apartment that I'm standing in now, and then this would have been one here. As you can see, there used to be a wall there. That's now gone. So, and a lot of times people will just sit in this room, and when you sit in this room, you will hear a lot of like, it's when you get a lot of activity. It's just in here, and you listen for the hallway. And we've heard kids running up and down the hall out there. We'll hear men talking out there. Um, a lot of people have stated that they've seen shadow figures, definitely an apparition of a female. And she's generally in the front apartment, which we'll walk up to in just a second here. So you guys can see that as well. So, but as you can see, it needs a lot of TLC at the moment, which it'll get there, but it'll take a bit. So I'll take you guys to the front apartment.
What was that doorway on the left you just passed?
Oh, that's this one. That's the scrying room. We just
Okay.
went out yeah, we went out the end of the hallway.
Okay, we're back passing it.
Yep.
And the
then
next
the-
door is
the
the other
clowns.
one we were in. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to get the lay of the land here.
It's kind of disorienting, I think, when it's it's really kind of hard to I think understand it just from video. Because I feel like people will watch the lives and then they come in and they're like, this doesn't make sense from what they remembered seeing before. So we're gonna go in here. If I can get the door open. There we go. All right. So this is the front apartment. And this here is what we call, this first room here is what we call Grandma's room. And I call it Grandma's room because this particular rocking chair, if I'm even on it, yes. So this particular rocking chair was given to us by a man whose wife passed away in it. And he basically said that after she passed away, it would rock on its own and that it scared him, but he didn't want to get rid of it in case it was her. So he gave it to us for safekeeping. And recently, my soon-to-be son-in-law gave us his grandfather's rocking chair. So there's not, so there is now this set of rocking chairs in here. And my future son-in-law was basically like, my dad was going to get rid of it, but I just really like it. And they didn't have anywhere to put it. I said, well, I know the perfect spot. And so here it is. The TV
Dueling
that
rockers.
is. Yeah, I know, right? We do get a lot of activity from Grandma's rocking chair, though. I don't know that anybody's ever actually seen it rock, but if you put equipment and stuff on it, a lot of times you'll get responses. If you talk to her, you get responses, things like that. So it's kind of interesting to watch that, just that whole kind of story unfold. And then this is the
All right, we
Outersburg.
froze. You're freezing up a little
Oh.
bit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now,
Hello?
and you're not frozen. I can see your light moving around. Whoops. Technical difficulties. I've seen plenty of them when you're out trying to do live and you're in a haunted location. And of course, this is brand new internet up in there. So we are, Christie was back for a second.
Let me flip my camera here. There we go. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, and I see your light playing around.
Somebody tried to call, and so it
Oh.
killed me. Yeah, that's what happened. So anyway, the the Dead Files episode, Keith Ottersberg, he lives about a mile away from me. And so this bed came from that house, and it's an old bed that I think Amy Allen had said that there was a young girl and her mother attached to the bed. So it'll be interesting because this is a new addition. So it'll be interesting to see if anything comes from there. I also have the mirror from that house that Amy said was a portal. And it is in a box, like they put protection and stuff, whatever. So that's actually downstairs in that front room. So I
I
have
see a
enough.
cat.
Yeah, that's Sir Cutie Pie. He follows me everywhere. Um,
Hey, I do not mind fur babies on the show. In fact, I encourage fur babies to be on the show.
so this right here, I have this issue with cabinet doors, and I always keep them all closed. I have not been up here in I don't know how long. I closed them last time I was up here and locked everything up the last event that we had. And once again, they're open. And every time I come up here, these are open. So I'm going to, on this live feed, I'm going to close these so everyone can see that I'm going to close them. But every time I come up here, these cabinet doors are open. And every time I shut them.
That's a little freaky.
It is a reoccurring thing. When I first owned the building, there was a car ornament up there. It was for Cadillac, and I was giving a tour, and I was facing. It was
Oh, we lost you. Somebody else call? Oh, well, we are having, of course, bugs. And this is something you live with when you do a lot of this. Gwen's got a good question right here, and we'll ask that question as soon as Christie gets back. The perils of live podcasting. Especially when you're in a haunted location, you end up with issues, bugaboos, gremlins. Christie? Nope.
my phone keeps ringing, and I don't know how to make that stop.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Okay, there we are. We're back on the cabinets again.
We are. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yes. So there was this hood ornament there, and as I was giving the tour, I was talking, and my back was to it, and they saw it fly off and hit me in the left shoulder. And unfortunately, that was one of the things that was taken out of here that shouldn't have been. But I wish it was still here because it kind of became like a thing for me that it was there. We have an original mini claw tub, which I'm obsessed with. So there's
Wow.
that. Yes. And like,
Gwen had a question about your cabinets.
yes,
You ever set up a cam to watch them?
I haven't yet. And the only reason that I hadn't done that yet is because I was waiting for the internet to be installed so that I can put the security cam up here. So within the next couple of days, I'll have the security cameras all up and running. And then I should be able to catch this on camera. Because it's kind of crazy. Like, I honestly, coming around that corner, I wasn't expecting it to happen again because this is kind of a newly reoccurring thing. It hasn't happened before. It just started happening like within the last month.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, if that's what we're doing, that's fine. There's usually like a lot of issues of like you can hear someone trying to come in the front door and things like that. So I'm not surprised that cabinet doors are being opened. So we'll go down. Okay, so I'll take you guys into the basement, but again, I'm not sure if the internet will last down there because it is such a brick building. But you
We'll
can
find
see,
out.
yeah, while we're out here,
Okay, we're
this
outside.
this is what Wymore looks like at night.
Nobody but you.
Nope. And both of those buildings next to me are abandoned, and then 2 empty lots, and then an abandoned building, and then a pharmacy, and then an abandoned building. So that's That's why more. All right, let's take you on downstairs.
What's the population of the town now?
Like 1,200, I think, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then Blue Springs, which is right next to us, is even smaller with about 300. All right, here we go.
Okay,
So
this is
far, we're
creepy
looking
looking.
good. Welcome to my creepy.
Whoops. Maybe you not have internet down here.
It working?
No, you're frozen
Can you
and I
hear
can
me?
barely hear you.
Okay, it's not going to work. We will go
It's not
up.
going to work. Okay, now we
No.
see, now we can see a few things.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's really just it's old and it's brick and it's very thick brick.
Okay.
And so trying to get internet to go through there is very difficult.
Right now we got a good picture. We hear you just fine.
Yeah, because I came back upstairs.
Okay.
So yeah. But that's pretty much, other than the basement, that's kind of the whole thing. I don't know. It's just a lot of crazy stuff happens in here. And of course, if anybody knows, it's the ceiling tiles that I'm obsessed with. If you look here, you can see right here. I wish I could zoom in on a little bit for you, but it's original copper tile from 1881.
Oh, wow.
And so as the paint is peeling off, the copper itself starts to show through, and you can see where some of it's been kind of through for a while, and it's starting to oxidize, which is how we know for sure that it's real copper because of the oxidization.
Right.
So it turns these like beautiful blues and greens and purples, and it's just, when the sun's out and shining in here, it's incredible. Every single person who walks in the door, it's the first thing they notice is this ceiling. So, and that's pretty much it, other than the basement. So
Yeah, is it in the room of the rocking chair? Is it known to rock on its own? And you said it was occasionally.
I haven't seen it rock. That's the thing. I've never seen it rock. However, I will say that people have gotten a lot of activity from it. So I'm actually going to I'll grab a REM pod here. Because I have some stuff sitting out, and we can go on up there and just kind of see what's happening. Make sure the battery works there. Make sure this works. There we go. So we'll bring a REM pod up, and I have a cat ball, and we'll see if maybe Grandma will come out and say hello. We'll go check it. Oh, I need the flashlight, otherwise y'all won't be able to see anything. There it is. I am pretty scatterbrained, so thanks for putting up with that.
Hey, it's not a problem. I'm actually finding this quite enjoyable. Appreciate you doing it.
Of course. And Sir Cutie Pie will follow me up, I'm sure. And so I do have neighbors to the left of me, so you might be able to hear them a little bit. With the doors shut, and I bought sound blankets, so that way when people are here, they won't be able to hear them at all.
Okay. Or vice versa.
Exactly. I don't think they care much about me, so they're not bad people at all.
Some paranormal investigators are screamers.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, you know how Ghost Adventures is. I've seen people like that. They talk big and bad. Then first time a ghost moves something, they start screaming and running.
And it's like, dude, you just asked for it. You know?
You're actually paying money for a paranormal experience, so when we finally get one, you're gone.
Exactly. That's funny. That is so true. So I put so there's a REM pod on the floor, and then she has a cat ball. Man, those stairs every time. They kill you every time. Oh, so she has a cat ball on her chair, and then the REM pod. So I don't know if she's gonna talk tonight. She probably wasn't expecting company. So maybe that's a good thing. But Grandma, if you're up here, would you like to say hello? There's people watching who want to see you tonight. And if anybody wants me to ask her a question, have at it. I will ask. Just let me know. I forgot we bought her some whiskey last time too.
So she's got whiskey laying there, a REM pod.
She's all set. She's probably whiskeyed out and taken a nap. I think a lot of people like they always ask like if there's anything evil or demonic here, and I don't think there is. I think there is one. Um, I think there's one spirit that can be kind of moody, and he's downstairs. But I think other than that, it's I don't think there's anything to worry about here at all. But again, like you said, like people go into locations acting all like mean and nasty and whatever. So like I would say if you're going to do that and they retaliate, that's on you.
Well, Grandma, if you would like to let everyone around the world know that you're there, can you move the rocking chair just slightly?
I see the question there. So the couple of times that I've been totally freaked out, one of them was actually only like a week ago. I work nights, so I mean, I guess it's like late afternoon, so I usually don't get home until like midnight. And then I call my mom every day. And so I was talking to her, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm on the phone with her, and it sounded like somebody was trying to break in into the
Oh,
front
wow.
door. Yeah, and I got freaked out because I'm like, is someone trying to break in? But also my like paranormal mind kicks in, and I know better. And so I just kind of went to the door and I was looking around. There was not one person, nobody was out, not a soul, not a sound, nothing. And so I was like, well, it's just the ghost, no big deal. Um, but the weird thing is just the weekend before that, there was a group here and they were woken up at about 2 or 3 in the morning by the same exact thing.
They
So
were sleeping?
they were sleeping and it woke them up because they were like, we woke up at like 3 in the morning and it sounded like the door opened. And then I showed them how the door is locked because there's like a kind of like a deadbolt lock on the inside. And so there's absolutely no way that door, you can't open the door from the outside, period, if someone's locked it from the inside. There's no way whatsoever. Um, and then they were like, well, maybe it's the basement door. But when we walked over there, the basement door was still also locked up. So they were very confused. So that's happened. And I think the other time that I was really concerned was I had all the doors open. It was late. I was doing a live investigation and I heard men talking on the stairs and walking on the stairs. And I thought someone had broken in. And so my friend who lives just up the road, he was watching and he actually came down here and cleared the building because it was so loud and obvious that even the people watching thought someone had come into the building, just random men. So it's not the paranormal that scares me. I think it might be a living person that scares me.
That's way I feel about paranormal investigations. The ghosts, spirits they don't scare me at all. They don't bother me. It's the living people and what they're going to do because you never know.
That's exactly it. You don't ever know. At least here, like I've been, involved here for, 6 years now. That's me setting that off. We're going to put it down the hall. All right, stop. So, I'm pretty comfortable here, and a lot of people always ask me if I'm comfortable sleeping here. And I'm like, I've been sleeping here since day one, on and off and whatever. So it doesn't really bother me at all. All right, here we go. And we'll give them this here. And we're going to shut the door here because I can hear the neighbors next door. That sound blanket will be installed within the next couple days too, for anybody who's wondering about it. There we go. And I blinded myself. All right, if there's anyone up here, you want to go hit the REM pod for me? You want to come out and say hello?
Anybody new to ghost hunting that's watching, this is what you really do.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes for hours with no results. I can hear
Well,
movement down here, but I don't know if you guys can hear it.
No, we can't hear it. Spirits are not trained animals. You got a cat ball down there? What's that red
Yes.
light?
Oh, that's a REM pod.
It's a
right
REM
there.
pod.
Yes, and then there's a
Okay.
cat ball right here.
Okay.
And I didn't bring my REM pod up, so I don't know if they'll. Can we pretend we're playing the game, but you have to go first, and then I won't go at all? I doubt negotiating like that's going to work, but you never know.
If anybody wants to become known, we got a lot of people watching right now. We're all over the internet. Come out, say hello to everybody. Or just make that REM, just touch that REM pod antenna and make it go off.
This is how we pay the bills, remember? That's the pep talk I have with them. I do all the other work. All you got to do is show up when I need you to. That's the pep talk we have before every event and every investigation. We didn't do that today, obviously. Do you remember when this was a dance hall? Did you come up here and dance? Do you remember when Theodore Roosevelt was here? Or Al Capone?
Oh, you've actually had Al Capone as a visitor there?
So it is, I cannot find proof, like physical proof that he was here in this building. However, the guy who owns the pharmacy just down the street, he was the first one to tell me that his dad, and like this was only when I was looking into the history of Wymore itself. He told me that his grandfather used to tell him stories of Al Capone being in here specifically.
Probably
we do
one of
know
the
that.
brothels.
Yeah, and they also had tunnels under the city, and there were tunnels under my building, and those tunnels were used for bootlegging liquor and things like that for Al Capone. And this town was like, it was called Sin City to the west. So basically, Wymore was the original Sin City. And so there was a lot of bootlegging, gangsters, mobs. Mob Barker's gang was out here. Jesse James. Matter of fact, Sam Wymore, it would have been his nephew, I believe. I can never remember because it takes a minute to like figure it out when I'm looking at all the paperwork and stuff. But Jesse James robbed a bank in was it Liberty, Missouri? The first one that he ever did during the daytime. And he shot and killed a kid, and that was Sam Wymore's, I think, his nephew. His name was they called him Jolly Wymore. So it's kind of crazy how that all happens, but the Dillinger gang was also out here. Thomas Limerick, he was part of the Denning gang. I just learned all this information over the last couple of weeks because I also work for the Squirrel Cage Jail. And I was going through their archives, and I learned that this Thomas Limerick he was part of the Denning gang, and they robbed a bank in oh crap, it's a town, Fairbury, which is like 20 minutes from here. And they escaped from the bank robbery, came to Wymore, then used the tunnels to escape because they were being chased by the FBI. They got through the tunnels and out to the camp town Kinney, which is right outside of town here. 3 of those gang members were shot and killed. There's still 3 crosses out there, like marking those spots. Thomas Limerick, who was a part of that gang, eventually got caught. And then he was taken to the Squirrel Cage jail. And from there went to Leavenworth and then went to Alcatraz. And then he was the 3rd escape attempt ever from Alcatraz and was shot and killed during that escape attempt.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
quite the history.
Is that not a crazy story? Like,
Yes, it
'cause
is.
I found his story at the Squirrel Cage when I was there, like just the part of, and I kept going, why is that name familiar? And I started digging and started digging. And then I was like, oh, this must be why, because of Alcatraz. Well, then a historian in this area posted the whole story of Thomas Limerick, like just randomly, conveniently at the same time. And I was like, no way. So that whole article about him being here and all that is actually on the Haunted Stephenson Facebook page. I posted all the pictures and everything. So,
Well, I'll say again where the building could hear me. I said I was going to interview a building tonight. Does the building itself have anything it wants to say to me?
that's the neighbors, in case you hear it. Can you light the REM pod up for me? I'm gonna go sit in the. I'll leave the hallway. Maybe they'll feel better.
You did say it was a brothel at one time, right?
Yes. Part of it was, the upstairs was. And from all the reports that I've heard, it was kind of back in this area. And that's why we set up that one particular room as a brothel room, because I don't know, people just keep calling it the fun room. And it's people who have lived here, just stories other people have told, whatever. So it's like word of mouth history on that. Obviously, it was apartments. There is kind of a weird story about the very front apartment. I had some other psychics come in here and they started making claims of like a domestic violence situation, and it's kind of muddy. The girl killed, like the female killed herself or he killed her. They're not really sure. I haven't been able to find any proof of the death of that female. However, what I can say is that I was up here working one day and the guy who was the landlord during that time happened to show up, just came upstairs and was like, oh, I used to be the landlord of this building and whatever. And one of the last tenants was this guy who lived in the front room. And he's like, oh man, he was such an asshole and he was violent and he was yell and scream. He said, I just got so tired of his crap that I just pulled him out of the room and threw him down the stairs. And he's like, I didn't kill him, but, and then he out of nowhere just tells me that he had a girlfriend or something and she either moved out or disappeared. He didn't know whatever happened to her.
That would be
And I was like,
interesting.
yeah, I was like, wow, okay. But he doesn't remember the guy's name, didn't remember the girl's name. And so like I tried looking for the problem, the library did a fantastic job of like cataloging all the history. The only issue is that without an exact date, I can't look anything up.
Right.
I have to go through, they just have drawers and drawers and drawers full of microfiche. So it would just, if I find it, it's going to be just a fluke, just stroke of luck is all it will be. So,
Or spiritual guidance.
yeah, it could be that as well. But as of now, I was forever looking for the picture of Theodore Roosevelt. Just looking for it because I was like, I know there's a better one. I know there's one because I had one small one that I found. looking all over for this thing, trying to figure out an exact date so I can go to the library and look it up.
Yes.
And the whole time, that photo was in this building.
Why was Teddy there?
So he was never in the building. He was at the Tethuzelon Hotel, which is like it's about a half a block kind of across the street from me. And so he was making campaign stops. And so he stopped here, got off the train, spoke in front of the Tethuzelon Hotel, and then went on his way. And
Okay.
it was covered by all the newspapers and stuff. So the Tethuzelon Hotel, I wish it was still there, but it's gone. It took up an entire city block, but that was like the place to be. The mobsters and people from all over came just to go to that hotel. This was a major stop. The train that station that was here, the tracks that used to be here, it is the only mob-owned railroad that ran from New York City to Vegas. And so it was run by the mob itself. And Nellie Beer, who married George Stephenson, um, uh, she came from Chicago, and it's believed that she was part of a mafia family. And that's kind of what I thought. Like, I was like, she's kind of the key there to figuring out the mob and the mafia and how involved they were. And it turned out that we ended up finding poker chips in the basement from the Southland Mafia, which actually were linked to that railroad and to Nellie and to all of it. And so we were like, that's pretty crazy. It's weird. The building has a way of just giving me information when it's ready. If I'm looking for it, if I'm asking the right questions, it's going to tell me what I want to know. Uh, when I was trying to figure all that out, the first clue that I got that the mafia was involved here was I got the name Hamilton. And I asked somebody, I was like, what does Hamilton mean? Like, who's Hamilton? Thinking it would just be some random person in history. It turns out it was John Red Hamilton from the Dillinger Gang.
Oh, wow.
So somehow or another in there, I believe they have ties to this building as well. I think they may have been somewhat part of the Denning gang, but I'm not sure on that yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. So it's a slow process. There's just so much. When you think of um, every major like event that happened throughout history, like this building in this town had something to do with it. The KKK and the Oddfellows and the mafia and bootlegging and the Wild West days and just all kinds of things like that. Just the craziest things and the stories that keep coming out. They blow my mind. The town up from us, the bigger town, Beatrice, they're constantly posting like historical stories and things and whatever. And like the more you learn, the more I'm just blown away. The only thing that I was disappointed about is that Wyatt Earp was never here. I looked up Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson and all those. Like I've been traveling and kind of been walking in the footsteps of Wyatt Earp and all of them. And I've to find out that this is the one place they hadn't been was kind of sad.
What? See if Doc Holliday ever went through there.
Doc Holliday was not here either. I looked them all up.
Okay.
And the truth is they may have been, they may have stopped through here or whatever. But it wasn't a significant enough thing to ever be recorded in history,
Right. They may have just
so.
rode through, spent the night, and moved on.
Yeah, and very possible that could have been it, or they were here on they stopped for an hour for lunch while the train was loading and unloading or something like that. But Weimar also played a part in the orphan train kids. And if you don't know anything about the orphan train kids, it was basically what happened was a lot of parents could no longer, like poor families couldn't afford to take care of their kids. And so the very first 8 orphan train kids were kids it was like an experiment. The mothers put them on the train took them to a bigger city, and all of those 8 kids were adopted. And so people started doing that everywhere, thinking that they're sending their kid off to a better life. And what happened was more kids than people who were going to adopt kids So there'd be babies not getting adopted. There'd be 3-year-olds walking the street, just like that, just left out to their own vices. And that's actually what started the social services program in the United States.
Right.
And this area, I don't know if it was exactly Wymore, but Wymore was certainly one of the first to receive some of the orphan train kids that were adopted out. But eventually, Wymore got overrun by them all as well. So it's kind of sad and interesting all at the same time. So, but yeah, this place, the history of this, and that's why I wanted to be out here in the first place, because the history is just fantastic.
You don't know much about me, but I have a history, and of course, lived in Chicago for 14 years.
Yeah.
With Al Capone. I was originally born in Georgia. And of course, Doc Holliday was born in Griffin, Georgia. But at a very, very young age, his mother moved to Valdosta, Georgia. And that's where she died and is buried, is in Valdosta, Georgia, which is not far from my hometown.
So what is your hometown?
Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia. And then you lived in Chicago for how long?
14 years.
14 years. That's where I grew up, was Chicago. I lived in Blue Island. Well, Alsip. So
We were on
South
South Side, up by, you know where Marquette Park is?
It sounds really, but not really, no.
Holy Cross Hospital in Marquette Park is where we lived.
Huh.
And now we got us a retirement cabin down in Southeast Arkansas.
Nice. I guess they just want to be quiet tonight, honestly. But it's only been like half an hour.
Yeah, it's a quiet night.
So.
But we tried.
Yeah. I'm like curious. I don't even know what. Oh, that's an old balloon. Okay. So yeah. So that's the Stephenson.
This is an
Building.
amazing looking place and plenty of room to investigate.
Yeah, I love it. I love I don't know if I can I don't know if it's plugged in. It probably is. My little oh yeah, we are plugged in. So my I found this in the building and like, come on, you gotta have it.
Yes. It actually works and you can get the white noise.
Exactly. So so I kept it because I thought it was awesome. And I feel like they need to watch TV. So that's hey, if you're gonna own a haunted building, you might as well have a little bit of fun.
Yes.
But I will tell you, the thing about it is I'm the one who put that there. But it also makes me jump almost every time I walk by it.
Yes.
And I only have myself to blame.
What I always say in the paranormal, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Exactly. That is exactly it. So I enjoy every second of it. I like coming home here every night. I like it. I like all of it. I like fixing it up and the adventure of, the first couple weeks of living here with no water and no electricity and having to light candles just to see what I'm doing. Just thought I'd point that one out.
That's a light of some sort. What is that, a candle?
Yeah, we're in this is the scrying room. And that is now on. And we walked through here earlier and it wasn't. And you guys have watched me this entire time. And it is on. It's turned on. And none of the other ones are.
Mm-hmm.
So thought you might like that one. Oh, the other one is on. 2 of them are on.
Oh, wow.
That one just turned on while we were standing here.
Turned on by itself without you turning it on?
Yeah, I was just standing there and it turned on as I was standing there.
Interesting.
Yep. So that was kind of fun.
We appreciate the tour.
Of course. Well, I guess maybe you didn't get a REM pod, but you got a couple of candles turning on.
Yes.
So that works. I need to lock these up really quick if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Mainly because
what kind of lights have you got in there? Just a flame bulb or what?
They are the flickering bulbs. So those are just LED candles with flickering bulbs,
Okay.
and they're battery operated. So they weren't on when we came up.
No.
I actually really like when stuff like that happens because, like, you guys can see me the whole time. You see where I'm at, you see what I'm doing, you see where I'm going. And so, if you know that they weren't on and I'm the only one here, and then we walk by and there they are, that's pretty fantastic. So, it feels great outside today.
So you can literally park right out here.
Yep. Just in case you're concerned about parking. We're all
Okay.
good.
What's that green lighting there to the left?
Oh, that's my display window.
Okay.
Because I couldn't help myself. So that's how you find me. Look for the green window.
Look for the green lighting. What kind of scene have you got? Somebody on an operating table or?
So I got so this, I don't know if I was telling you because I did a radio show this morning too, but so this particular mannequin dressed up like this, years ago, I was sleeping in the couch out there and this mannequin flew out of the display window and landed face down in the middle of the floor in the front room.
Oh.
It's the only time it's ever done it. Never done it before, never did it since. And so there's our patient there. And then my skeleton and the cat who hates people, but loves the skeleton. So there he is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's the first thing I set up because you know what? I just can't do anything without drawing attention to the
Well,
building.
it marks the building well, and somebody coming up there, if it was a little bit dark, can find the building.
Well, and it's funny because I had they're like, hey, where's the building? There's no sign. And I'm like, I don't think you need a sign.
No.
I don't think you need a written sign. So it's great. I don't know. I love being able to let like all my artistic side and my film side and my paranormal side and there's everything that I am and want to be and all that stuff is just tied up into this place. And I just love it. And I'm like, you know what? I hope other people love it because I want it to be more than just about myself. I want it to be so much more than that because it's worth so much more than that. But I'm like, at the same time, if I'm the only one who ever appreciates it, so be it. It's one of those things, you got to find the things in your life that make you happy and that you would enjoy and that bring you peace and everything. And just being able to wake up every day and say, you know what, today I'm going to make this look better. Today I'm going to fix this. Today I'm going to, just investigate or I'm just going to enjoy it. Those are all the wonderful things about this place for me. So, yeah. And then my kitty, come here. Come on. Oh, come here. Oh, he's not going to come up.
Mhm.
But yeah. So,
Your camera side.
yeah, he's walking away from me. Cutie pie. Yeah, he's walking away. If he comes back, I'll show you. There's a reason he's called Sir Cutie Pie. So, but yeah. But yeah, so I just hope everybody else wants to come out and enjoy it as much as I do. And so far, that has been the case. Everyone who's come out here has I think, just enjoy being part of what this is or what it's going to be and the people that it will include. And, because I think paranormal it's not just about ghosts and spirits. I think it's about the living spirits and how we connect with each other. I always make the point that, we're so busy spending time investigating the ones that have passed on that we should make sure we never forget the ones that are still here. Like, hear their story before you have to try to get them to tell you through a REM pod. And I
Right.
think that's important. And I think this place will be a lot of that as well.
Yeah. Where can people get hold of you?
So they can, if you Google Haunted Stephenson Building, it'll come up with the phone number, the email, all of that stuff. They can call, they could email, they can text, they can message me on the Haunted Stephenson Facebook page, the TikTok page, my personal page. However they want to get a hold of me, I will see it and I will respond.
Okay,
So,
now, and how much is it?
so it's $375 on the weekends for up to 6 people, and then $275 during the week. So,
So up to 6 people dividing 275
that's
during
not
the
a
week.
lot.
That is a cheap investigation.
And it is. And, I want to do one, because the purpose of this place, again, isn't for me to just pocket money. Do I need money? Yes, I do, because it's costing me a lot. We had all the electric redone, we've had all the plumbing redone. We were able to put in Wi-Fi, the light bill has to stay on. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done if I'm going to save the building. Right now, one of the biggest issues I have is we're drying out the basement, because the back end of the building needs new support beams. We have temporary ones in, so I have a little bit of time, but we need new cement blocks and new support beams down there. And then we also have one smaller structural issue on the front of the building. So there's a reason for the money, but the money isn't the reason, if that makes sense. Um, and I wanted to just keep it inexpensive for that reason, because I feel like so many people, there are people who own locations and pocket the money and spoil the money, and before you know it, they no longer own the location because they can't afford it. And then it goes to whoever and it's closed off to the paranormal world, or it falls into such disrepair, and I am determined to not be that person. This place is far too important for that to happen. So I want people to come, I want them to experience it, I want them to have experiences, and I want to 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I want people to walk into this place and just be amazed, like you're walking back into the 1800s.
Wow.
So,
When was the building built? Do you know?
so Sam Weimer founded Wymore in 1881, but I'm estimating that the building was 1882 or 83. But again, I'm not sure. There was a lawsuit between Sam Wymore and the Murdochs, because the Murdochs were basically trying to steal the building from him. Sam Wymore did eventually win that lawsuit, but he had died before he won. So I've never actually knew that he won. So there's all the paperwork for that. And I was kind of hoping that in that paperwork, I could really figure out what Sam Weimer was using the building for, but I have not really been able to. All I know is the Murdochs were collecting money from the business that he had here and not giving it to him. And I think it totaled out to like 1.6 million in today's money. Um, Something like that, that they had actually stolen from Sam Wymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it didn't become the Stephenson Building until 1901. But it became the Stephenson Building because Sam Wymore was getting so sick, which he blamed on the lawsuit and the stress from that he gave the building to Sam Wymore, to George Stephenson. And that's when it became the financial building. And the only reason that we figured out any of that is because there's exactly one photo with half of the building, and all you can see is Stevenson 01 on the top of the building.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, well, that's, because we were digging and digging and digging. But it kind of makes some sense, because if there was a lot of mob activity and illegal activity and all that stuff going on, they're not going to put it out there in the open. It's not going to be,
No.
it's not going to be documented.
No.
Yeah. So, and I just recently, after I would say probably 5, 6 years of looking, I finally found pictures of George Stephenson and his wife, Nellie.
Are you going to put them up in the building?
I will eventually. Yeah, I put them online right away, just so that I knew that I had them and they weren't going anywhere. So they are on the Facebook page, but eventually they will. I will have pictures of those. The story of Thomas Limerick will be put up eventually. So all within time, all that stuff. It's going to be like an oddities museum and a history museum. The history is such a big part that that will always, I'll always have that in the building here somewhere. So, and it will be put on display.
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm
at least we
excited
had
for
a
that.
ghost sighting. There's one
What's that?
behind you. I said, at least we had a ghost sighting, one right here, right there.
There's more.
Yeah.
So, my kids gave me that and put that together. And then I won one of the ghosts over there. Someone else gave me one. My daughter gave me one. I just love it. People are always giving me gifts, and it makes me so happy. I enjoy it.
What do
So,
your daughters think about this?
um, You know, my youngest one has done some events with me because I was traveling. I spent like 4 years, 5 years on the road, maybe less. It was probably more like 4 years, just traveling the country, living van life, and doing events everywhere. And so my youngest one, she would do events with me every now and then. She likes it to a point, and she enjoyed spending the time with me and going to the places here and there. But I have 4 kids, and all 4 of them pretty much are like, "You do you." Um, they think it's cool, and they, like, talk to their friends about it and stuff, and mind you, they're all in their mid-20s. My oldest is almost 30. He'll be 30 in December, so, my son enjoys the hard work part, so he comes down here every now and then and helps me, like, he ripped out the drop ceiling, and he's been helping me work on the roof, and, so he likes the hard labor of it, and he never believed in it, and then he was in here by himself because I think I had left to go use the bathroom. This is before we had the water on, and he was working in the front room. And he was telling me there were people on this. He's like, there were some guys on the stairs talking earlier, and this and that, whatever. And I was like, did you go and look? And he's like, nah, I just figured, whatever. And I was like, Brian, I was like, there's nobody around here. And he's like, "Yes, there are." And I was like, "No, there isn't. You know this. Like, this whole block is like abandoned." And at the time, there wasn't even the neighbors. Like, nobody was here. And then he was like, "Okay, but what if there were people in the alley?" I'm like, "Brian, that doesn't even make any like, think about it." I was like, "There's nobody. It's abandoned back there too." And he's like, "Well, there's a building back there." I said, "Yeah, go look. It doesn't even have a roof, dude." Like, and so I could see him because he's a highly intelligent person just in general. And so I could see the change in his face, like, oh shit, what just happened? Um, and it took him a while for it to register. And he was like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah, I told you I didn't make any of this up, dude. He's a great kid.
It's
So
always fun to see the light, the paranormal light come on with somebody.
Yep. I had a tour. I was taking it was and there was the guy and the girlfriend, and the guy was like, I don't believe in any of this crap the whole time. And it was a candlelight tour. So they're carrying those little LED candles around. And we get
Right.
done with the tour, and the whole time he's like, this is bullshit. Negative Nancy. And we get down into the front room, and I physically saw his arm move and the candle goes flying out of his hand. And then he just stood there frozen.
Wow.
It took him a couple minutes to be able to speak and tell me what actually happened, and he was shaking and couldn't move and just was like he didn't know what to do, and I've never heard or seen them since. And I was like, "Hey, F around
Well,
and find out."
you got some great stories. You have a great building.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Uh, and hopefully we're creating some interest, and somebody will come in there and get a not very expensive paranormal investigation.
Oh, I hope so. I hope everybody comes. Nothing brings me greater joy than seeing other people in here. It makes me so happy. Just seeing people love it and enjoy it and appreciate it. Because it's a wonderful place. I'm obsessed with it, clearly.
Gwen says she wants to. Gwen is a producer for All Access Network TV. She produces most of the shows. I wish we could get the money up to where we could just for a year rent an SUV So we
Mhm.
carry equipment around, and the two of us, maybe add a third person, could tour around places like you have
It's worth it.
in the night and throw and on the network throw up live investigations of the places where we are.
It would be so worth. I will say that living van life financially is hard. I feel like people would think it would be easier, but you have to still be able to pay your bills, because you still have a phone bill and a insurance bill and things like that. So you still have some bills to pay, and you have to feed yourself, and you have to be able to shower and things like that. So financially, it can be a lot more difficult, but the reward of doing it is just
Mhm.
incredible. There were nights where I was like, you know what, tonight I think I'm going to go to Utah and sleep on a mountain overlooking a city. And I just would go. Um, and I learned a lot, and I learned to respect myself. I found a lot of peace within myself. I've had a lot of people, I have a book that'll eventually come out one day. It's just been a real overwhelming thing for me to write and to finish and all that. But I came from a very abusive situation for years. And living van life and being surrounded by whatever nature and peace I wanted to at any given moment was the most incredible, wonderful experience of my life.
You may
So,
have got out of it at the right time because some of the people that I follow that have been in the van life, you got governments in states and the federal government are really frowning on van life. They don't want to talk about Americans living in a vehicle.
and I
They're
hadn't seen
they're
any of
cracking
that.
down on
So
people.
I had no idea that was happening,
They're starting to crack down on people more and more in
which
the
is crazy
past year and a half.
because they have the Bureau of Land Management, which is land that's government owned, but it belongs to the people. And so, like, you can actually go live on it for free. And some of them have like full facilities, like showers and bathrooms and things like that. And that is supposed to be for the people. There are apps and everything, because I used them all the time, where you could just, it's called like The Dirt is one of them, and you can just find free camping sites everywhere, free
Right.
showers everywhere, just things like that. So it's really kind of sad. Like if they're going to be shutting that stuff down and cracking down on it, it's really sad, because the land belongs to all of us, not to them.
Well, unfortunately, you know how they want the oil drilling and mineral searching. I think they
Mhm.
want to search all the BLM land, by the way, which is the original BLM. It's not Black Lives Matter. It
Yeah, it's
is
the
the
beer.
Bureau of Land Management.
That's why I called it that, because I didn't want it to get confused.
It's the Bureau
Exactly.
of Land Management. Uh,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of people wanting to look for rare earths and all of that. And see, I don't know how you search for rare earths, but you've got people say, we don't have many rare earths in this country. We got a major discovery here in southern Arkansas that they're trying to grab all the land for that so they can start mining. But finding it is you're still years from being able to put it on the market and make
Yeah.
stuff with it. And you got to have the market for that. So which comes first, the mining of the rare earths or the cell phone factory or the computer factory?
Yeah.
And do you want to build that in this country, where an American made computer is going to cost you twice what a one made in China would be, or three
Yeah.
times? So it's just people grabbing at straws because they want to buy American, and with rare earths, there's not much American.
Yeah. Well, and I think unfortunately, like, people care more about money and profit, than they do anything else. It's kind of been a thing for me lately that I struggle with, is watching people. I feel like everything becomes about the money and the profit, that they can put in their pocket, and there is no regard whatsoever for what they're actually doing, because unfortunately, the temporary cash flow will cause a permanent lack in things we need
Yeah,
worldwide. Um,
yeah.
Sad.
I've
And we don't, there's a lot of things we don't need. We really, we can live without so much. I lived off grid for, how many years, and um it's crazy to me trying to come back because I kind of been back basically for about 2 years now. And the first year that I was back, I was absolutely miserable. I did not want to be a part of society at all. And on most aspects of it, I still don't. And I love people. I love people on an individual level, and I enjoy people and stories, and like really one of my I love it. But when people get together as a society, that all changes, and that's tough, and that's been tough for me. So, and it will remain tough. Once you live van life and you're out there and you realize how little you actually need, it changes you quite a bit. So,
Gwen has a very long question. You might not be able to read it on your phone. Last year I was on the road for a little over 3 months, different haunted locations, traveling, camping. What was your favorite haunted location that you stayed at while you were on the road?
oh boy, God, there were so many. Um, Edinburgh Manor's one of my favorites. It always will be. I became really close with the people who own it. They're incredible people. I love them to death. Um, Another place that I really fell in love with was Octagon Hall. And I got real close with Bear when I would go out there. He would just the biggest old, teddy bear you ever met. And sadly, he passed away about a year ago. Um, and that was one was tough just because I felt like we were just really, forming a friendship. He was more like I don't know, like I guess like a father figure in a weird kind of a way, or like a big brother or something like that. But I think the reason that I fall in love with the locations that I do is because the people who own them and just welcome me like family. Asylum 49, um, one of my absolute favorite places in the world. That's an incredible place with incredible people who have treated me like family since the first day I stepped in the door. And I go see them still every Halloween. Those are probably my top favorites, but Asylum 49 probably takes the cake. I have to say that it does. So it's a great place.
Okay, would you believe we've gone over an hour and a half?
Because we've been having fun. We've been investigating and talking about investigating and people in life, and that's fantastic.
Gwen said thanks for that answer.
Of course.
Yeah, I would love. Sean said he wants in. He's our backup producer and has his own show, of course, on this network.
Nice.
If we could ever get a sponsor, so we could, of course, it's expensive. You got to rent a vehicle, but putting the three of us on the road, hitting various places, maybe dropping into a Paracon once in a while and filming a little bit of that would be a fun paranormal show to have.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then, you know what? That's why I earned the name Paragypsy, because I was traveling all over, and it became quite wonderful too, like how many people open their doors and their homes and their lives to me, and just would welcome me in. And someone dubbed me the Paragypsy, and it just kind of stuck. And I'm like, I love it. And then somebody I know made me a logo, and it just kind of went from there, and it became a thing. I think it was kind of a game for a little while where people are like, what state is Christie in now? So I think I think people are kind of like, she hasn't moved in a little while.
Yeah, a lot of people doing that van life have settled down. You got Wandering Jeepsy.
Mm-hmm.
She sold her Jeep. That's why they called her Jeepsy. And she bought several acres out west. And is now trying to settle it down. Some other people, what was their names? Anyway, they went all over, and they bought a house in a few acres down in Texas. And Wanda Hussey, she was on the road all the time. Didn't show much of her house in Vegas because she wasn't ever there. And she finally bought a whole compound around the edge of Death Valley.
Wow.
So a lot of people that, and then there was a British couple that come over here. They would come over here in the United States and stay for a few months, tour the country, and put that on YouTube. And when they went back to Britain and went back home, they'd show that. But then they had a kid, and then a kid changes things. You know this.
Yeah.
and they ended up getting a house because again, governments are starting to frown. Like in Great Britain's even worse than here.
Yeah. Well, also the price of gas right now is ridiculous.
Oh yes.
It's gotten to the point where I'm like, as much as I would love to go back to that life, one, I have this building, but two, like it's unrealistic with gas being, it costed me $65 to fill my tank. And that makes it very difficult. It makes it
And
so much more difficult.
there's no way out of this mess.
No.
It's not gas. If magically I snap my fingers like Thanos and open the straits and get everything back to normal, it's still going to be 2 to 3 months before the oil flow starts coming in everywhere and the prices start to drop.
Yeah.
So right now, even like I said, if I can snap my fingers, we're looking at 3 months, which is all of June, all of July, all of August. Maybe by Labor Day, prices will be coming down.
Yeah.
Back to where they were.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at Labor Day now. If this continues, we could be looking at going into Halloween. We could be looking at going into Thanksgiving. And if it doesn't improve, there will be shortages on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Europe is already canceling some flights because they don't have jet fuel.
Yep.
We
It's
forget it's the
scary
whole world.
times.
It's the world suffering.
Yes, it is.
In the Orient, in various places, they shut down some flights because there's just not enough jet fuel. And we could be experiencing that in this country if they don't hurry up and figure out whatever they're going to do.
Exactly. And all we can do is just sit here and wait and hope.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we got. So, and I hope that everybody's, able to find some way to cope with it and deal with it. Because I just don't think I'm concerned that a lot of people won't be able to, and that's heartbreaking for me. I'm like, I'm struggling. And I shouldn't be. I absolutely shouldn't be. But because of this, I am. And that sucks.
Yes.
It truly does. So I just keep hoping that eventually everything will get better, or at least even out or level out or something. Like something has to give eventually. It can't continue like this forever. So
No, it can't. This is unsustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Totally unsustainable. But right now we just got to persevere. Like I said, I wish you luck. Be nice if you got an investigation every week there, either on the weekend or during the week.
Yeah.
Keep you busy, keep the money flowing in so you can keep a roof over the place. And because it's important.
That's what I'm hoping for. It's going to be a lot of work. But I say we, it feels wrong to say me or I, because I feel like we is myself and every single person who steps foot in this place. It's a we, it's all of us, every person, I get you're coming and you're paying for the building to investigate and this and that, whatever. But that is as much a part of the building staying in one piece and being put back together as myself doing it. So it's a we, it's not an I or a me at all. And I just appreciate it. So I just hope everybody always fully understands that how much I appreciate every single person that walks through that door or that puts me on a podcast or, on the radio show today. The guy who I did the radio show, they booked for August. So I'm so excited to have them come out. Great people. But yeah, I don't know what else to say other than that. I'm just appreciative. So.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show tonight.
Of course.
And
anytime.
I hope we can, your address is labeled below.
Mm-hmm.
And find you on Facebook mostly.
Yes.
Contact you there and go ahead and book some time. But this is rather magnificent building with history.
It is, and all of Weimar is like that. You could spend a day just exploring. The oldest cemetery in Nebraska is actually here in Weimar. Sam Weimar is buried there. George Stephenson is buried there. Their families are buried there. And people like to go visit it. I've gone and visited it. I had a conversation with an owl that was quite fun. So you may be able to do that. I think that's on, I need to find that because that was pretty cool.
That would be kind of
posted.
cool if somebody wants to stay in one of the local hotels, get up in the morning, and then check out the cemetery, some of the look around some of the other buildings downtown, and then that night come in and have their investigation in your building.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's a cool way to
Mhm.
spend 24 hours.
Yeah, and people have been doing it and they've been enjoying it. And every time we do an event, I have dinner with, I go to the Doghouse Bar and Grill, which is just down the street, and have dinner with anybody who comes to the event. If they want to come join, they come join. So it's like a big family dinner before events and
What kind of
investigations,
food do
which
they
is a lot
got?
of
What kind
fun.
of place is that?
It's just a little bar, so it's a lot of fried food and some burgers and, of course, alcohol. I don't allow drinking during the events and things like that. But if people come and have dinner and have a drink, it's not a big deal. Yeah, we go down there and hang out for about an hour, hour and a half, and then we all come over here and investigate. And it's been a real good time. It's been a lot of fun. And I now work some shifts at the bar every now and then when they need my help. So they're great people. They'll tell you some stories about me that have made me famous in this town, but let's just say I've had a few really good nights over there.
I used to be
So,
a DJ in nightclubs. I've been going to bars since I was 17.
yeah.
So in bars, you have a lot of adventures.
Yep. Yes, you do. Some you remember and some you don't. And some you only remember when they send you videos.
Yeah. Sometimes there's memories you want to remember. A lot of times there's memories you want to forget.
Yeah, that's true. That is also very true. So that's too funny.
Well, it's
Um,
been great having you on. Now,
Thank you.
if you got time and you want to chit chat, we can go ahead and end the show. And Gwen will hang around for a little bit, and maybe Sean will come in there, and we can chit chat a little bit if you got time.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds
Just,
good.
just stay on. We'll take it. Gwen will take us down. We'll
All
get
right.
out of the show, and just don't exit StreamYard. Just stay where you
Okay.
are,
I
and
got you.
we can close down the show, and you just stay right there, and we'll be back.
Sounds like a
And
plan.
we'll be back talking about Bill. We'll be back next week. Who have I got next week? Me in June. Look at the calendar. Oh, Jeremy Brunton will be my guest next week. I was on his show last month. Jeremy will be on this show next week, so we can continue our talks about paranormal stuff. And like I said, I appreciate you being here. Just hang on. We'll be back with
Okay.
you. Gwen, you want to go ahead and I've already announced my guest for next week. I am looking for guests that are involved and going to the New Orleans Paracon because we're starting to get into that area. I'm already talking to a couple of people, and I would like to book all of July with people that are going down there. I've already got the last Thursday in July. I'm going to have, and I can announce this, I'm going to have a person from the hotel provided by Christopher Talley, and we will be talking about some of the history of the hotel, various locations in the hotel. We will be it kind of be a walking tour, and because I will be there that Thursday, and we'll be talking in person instead of being on the internet like this, interviewing somebody. The two of us will be in the same room and in the hotel that we will be talking about, which is the host hotel for the New Orleans Paracon. All right, Gwen, let's go ahead and shut the door on this show. And remember, everybody, paranormal never sleeps. Good night. Have a great week. All right. Good night, everybody. See you.